This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Is the man, the myth, the legend. He is on the road getting ready for the biggest game of the youngsters season. It is. It's a beautiful thing. Ira, I love this because this group has never accomplished anything. Bam and Tyler have never accomplished shit as leaders.
As leaders, okay.
As leaders, right? They've always been the second fiddle. They've been the complimentary guys. This has never been their team. So now this is their opportunity to say, hey, we can lead. And they've, by the way, let me give them a little love. Lately, they've been playing lead roles and kind of been filling the lead role deal. You know what I'm saying? So I give them a lot of love for leading. But if this group wants to get a little respect, you win this game. You get into the play-in, you get out of the play-in, become the 8th seed and play Cleveland. This is beautiful now. This is where it's an interesting dynamic. I talked about it yesterday. If you win and you could get out of the play-in and get into the playoffs and be the 8th seed, you as a Heat fan, you go into next season feeling good, like you can build on this. If you lose tonight or you fail in the play-in and you're just getting eliminated right away, you go into the offseason with a depressed type of feel because you're not feeling good about the young guys like you can build on them. So it's really interesting, and I'm excited about it because I think these young people can actually make their own stamp because this collective group has never done anything on their own.
No, and I agree. And sitting here in the bowels of United Center getting ready for tonight's game, look, we know they're going to finish with a losing record. That's locked in. That's unavoidable. So you move on to the next thing. I agree with that, Big O. Getting to the playoffs always matters, even though there were people about the lottery, but that ship has sailed because they're not bad enough to be bad enough. Going back to what you said at the top of this accurate Pembroke Pines report, I think is important. What Bam and Tyler have done this season to lead. Here's what matters. Bam Adebayo sat out Monday mostly for rest. They said back spasms. I spoke to him today. He wanted a day off. It was the Sixers. He will play 79 games this season unless he sits out meaningless games. Tyler Hero will play 78 games this season. Unlike a certain player who talked his way out of town this season, they have shown up to play every game. And even listening, longtime listener, first-time caller to the Orlando Alzugaray show, you even spoke about Tyler Hero has to show it. He can't keep missing all these games. He can't miss 40 games like he missed last season. He has made that a priority no matter what to get his butt out there on the court. You know where leadership starts, Big O? It starts by showing up for work. And what Bam and Tyler did this year showed they are committed to the team. They are committed to their teammates. That is true leadership.
Yeah, that's right. And that's why, to me, I'm excited for them because this is their team. So this is a moment where they can actually, separate themselves here and say, no, dude, we got a terrible situation and we were put in a terrible situation and we found a way to make it a much better situation right now. And if you get out of this play-in and become a playoff team, to me, you got to compartmentalize. We know you're a championship organization. We know your aspirations are championship. So are the fans, and the media is expecting. That's fine, but that's not what this is all about. We know this is something about building for the future. Well, you got to build on a positive, and you guys got to make your own, your own mark. And I think tonight it starts by saying, yeah, man, you know what? We don't have Jimmy here. We don't have Wade here, but you know what? We're better than that, and we need to go prove it out there. And that's why I'm actually really looking forward to this game tonight. And by the way, Chicago rested everybody also.
Yeah, how about that? How about that? Yeah, it's like I wrote in the paper. The Sun Sentinel's like, wow, we have a showdown for 9th place. But you know what? When teams care and let games matter, it's a lot better than being in Washington or Philadelphia, or Charlotte, or Utah, or places where they play this shell game with fans. Oh, don't worry. All this losing is good for us. It's going to help. Well, you know what? We've seen the process in Philadelphia, and now we're seeing the process 2.0 in Philadelphia. And all the losing and all the lottery sometimes, like Charlotte, winds you up in the same place for a damn decade. So good for the Bulls for putting something into this game. Good for the Heat for putting something into it. All I ask from my teams is this, that they give a crap, that they care, that it means something. And Billy Donovan, by sitting his players last night in Cleveland, said, tonight, while the rest of the world is watching another NBA game and the Lakers are taking on the Mavericks and all that, you can look at the Miami Heat, you can look at the Chicago Bulls, and you say, you know what? There's nothing wrong with teams actually caring. It'll be good theater.
And by the way, the season has been reset for all of us. Let's be honest. We now have a reason to watch because everybody shows up, everybody tries, everybody gives a shit. It was the whole year was, will he show up? Will he give a shit? Will he try? All that is done. It's actually fun to watch what's going on now. Even the other night when Bam's off and I'm watching Khalil Ware do his thing, amen to that. I'm having some fun. To me, I'm having a good time watching the Heat right now. I know what happened and all the other crap, but I have to separate church and state here and say, okay, yeah, we're done with all that now. They've turned the page. I've got to do the same thing as a fan. That's why tonight is everything, dude. It's fun.
And that's what sports is all about. Give me a game with meaning. That's all I ask. It's like watching the Panthers last night against Toronto and going for seeding and going for second place or third place or first place in their division. Meaningful games matter, and a team that doesn't tank makes all of their games meaningful. It has been years since the Heat has played a game without meaning because they chase it. Maybe stupidly they chase it. Maybe they try a little bit too hard where a lottery pick might have helped every now and then, but they're telling you that they're committed. You win tonight, you're short of at least one postseason game. Is it the postseason game you want most? No, but it's a starting point. Lose tonight, you might have one game left at Kaseya Center until next October. The season finale on Sunday, because you could start the play-in on the road, play in game number 2 on the road, and then you could be done. So yeah, have some fun with tonight. Accept it for what it is. Put everything else aside. Put the record aside. Put Jimmy Butler aside. Because I think, Big O, you would agree. If this Jimmy Butler thing was resolved last summer, as you wanted on our accurate Pembroke Pines report, if it was done earlier this season, there wouldn't have been a 10-game losing streak. There wouldn't be this bad of a losing record.
No. Not at all. It would have been a completely different scenario. So let me ask you something as we wrap it up here. Am I getting ridiculous on this one, or is there some reality to it? Reality or ridiculous? Okay. And be honest with me. It's cool. Okay. I can get that way sometimes. I'm a fan sometimes. If you're the Heat organization, you really need to end strong because one, you need to sell to your fan base that there's something to build on. 2, you need to sell to the NBA, hey, we got pieces here. You know what I mean? You need to sell to possible disgruntled star that might become available, older star, whatever, that, hey, I'm the missing piece. That's a pretty damn good group there. If I'm the star and I join them, we can get over the hump. But if you go out and lay an egg here tonight and lay an egg in the play-in and you don't look good and you look like you looked in that 10-game losing streak, then you go into the offseason, your fan base has got a bad taste, your front office has got a bad taste, possible free agents, possible trades, whatever could happen, whatever. It just doesn't look as sexy as it would if everything goes well. Am I being a little foolish or am I being a little real?
I think you might be a little overstated for this reason. Because let's step back for a second just about tonight's game in the play-in. Look at what the Heat have to offer a potential free agent or someone who wants to come here. They have a do-it-all defensive center who has shown he's a real, genuine leader on the Olympic level in Bam Adebayo. They have a scoring guard who showed he's also committed to more. Tyler Hero is more than Trae Young. Tyler Hero is more than LaMelo Ball. Tyler Hero is mature. Tyler Hero has grown up right in front of our very eyes. That's good.
I would go with that.
A shot-blocking backstop big man that every wing in the league wants to play with, because if someone gets by him, it takes me back to this. You remember this name, not a lot of other people do. Sasha Danilovic, when he used to play with the Miami Heat. Yes. This is how he played defense. He'd line up against his man, and he'd stay the same word 3 times. Zoe, as in come here and block the shot because I'm about to get blown by anyone. Yeah. They really are set up. So you have 3 players you'd want to play with as a free agent. Yeah. You said this, and Big O, you're saying this for years. You have arguably the best coach in the NBA to play for.
Not even close.
You have this stability of an organization, whether you spell culture with a capital C or small c of somewhere. So, yes, I'd like to see
not the bullshit that's going on in what's it called, Denver. Where
yes.
Jesus Christ.
Where they just quit on everyone, and a week before the playoffs decide to start over again. Spoke to Spolstra about that this morning.
So apparently you tell the people in the front office and coaching that you want to cut corners, that you're going to go on the cheap, and yet now you're firing them for that? For
losing Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, for losing Bruce Brown. We know how valuable a player he is from his days down here. You lose players like that, and then you wonder why you don't have cohesion and chemistry of scoring or the defense you want. Absolutely. So, Big O, what I'm saying is I think no matter how this ends in this week or next week for the Miami Heat, they have a lot going for them. And I think players being smart enough realize Jimmy Butler laid a giant turd in the middle of the locker room and just walked away. And they know, if you're asking me, when you're looking at the bottom of the East, you're looking at the Bulls, and you're looking at the Hawks, and you're looking at the Magic, I'll take the Heat's future because you have real, genuine building blocks there. You have a Barkov-like building block in a player like Bam. You have an Blvd-like building block in a player like Tyler Hero. You have a game-saving Bobrovsky-like building block in Kel'el Ware. Not to that Stanley Cup championship level, but you have the pieces there. If I was a free agent, if I was a player, Durant, looking to force a trade, yeah, I would look at Miami. I would not look at the record at the end of the season and say, oh my God, 38-44. I'd look at it at the record as saying, just sort of like the stock market these days, it's going to bounce back. It's going to be Bitcoin. It is the gold standard, and then go from there.
So who's more dysfunctional, Dallas or Denver?
I think Dallas for this reason, and I don't mean this it's to hurt any feelings. Coaches can be replaced. General managers can be replaced. Franchise players cannot be replaced. A franchise player in a sport where only 5 play at a time in the NBA is even more important, I would say, than a quarterback in the NFL. Because
generational player, not just
because even in the NFL, how many great quarterbacks have we seen whose teams have struggled because the defense was terrible, because they didn't have a running game, because they didn't have a coach? Yeah. You give me one great NBA player, you give me Luka Doncic, I will find a way. I will build around that. That's what this league is all about. So I'd say Dallas 1,000 times over. Denver will find a coach. Denver will find a GM. Denver will keep Nikola Jokic and we'll go from there and we'll be fine. Believe me, if you're asking me which would be worse, if Denver fired the coach of the GM or lost Nikola Jokic, it's not a question at all. Doncic, Jokic, those kind of players, you do whatever it takes to keep them. They obviously felt they had to do that now after letting all of his supporting pieces go over the years.
Yeah, I mean, that was just, wow.
That was crazy stuff, yeah.
That just made no sense whatsoever what they did in Denver. But, wow, that's some dysfunction at its best. You have them winning tonight? Vegas has got Miami favored by 1.5.
I do, because I think in the moment, Spoelstra, Hero, Bam, I think they rise to it. Andrew Wiggins will be coming back. He's listed as questionable now, but Eric Spoelstra said he will be playing tonight. Again, this team with Andrew Wiggins playing, now I don't know how healthy he'll be, but at the top of his game is a better team, is a winning team, doesn't have this losing record. The problem is 2 months without Jimmy Butler, now half the time without Andrew Wiggins. You get this together, this team will be in good shape.
That's what I'm saying, man. If you can just finish this strong and just get out of the play
create optimism, you're absolutely right.
We're going to go into the offseason feeling way better about the Miami Heat.
Would agree with that.
You know what I mean? So it starts with tonight. You got to get him. Got to get it done. All right, follow him on Twitter at Ira Heatbeat. And subscribe to the South Florida Sun Sentinel and catch him doing his thing here every week with our accurate of Pembroke Pines, Miami Heat, and NBA report. Ira, as always, thank you, my friend. We'll catch up next week. And
be back to you next week with our annual accurate Pembroke Pines play-in report. We're ready for that, the big preview. Thanks, Big O.
Thank you, Ira. You got it. There we go. Our accurate of Pembroke Pines, Miami Heat, and NBA report.
is the Big O Show.